Hi everybody. I'm going to teach you a new trick today, but I first want to review a couple of the things we've done already. First of all, I want to show you the picture we have. We have a picture that is of a house that is going on sale. The only problem is we've got a lot of power lines in the way, and the realtor doesn't want to put that picture on the internet because there's too many power lines. She wants to show the house without those lines. So let me show you the house that I've started on, getting rid of all those power lines, and you can see how now the house looks a whole lot different. Those power lines aren't in front of it, and this is the house that's going on sale. So let me go back to the original house that you're going to get and show you some of the tricks that we can use to do that. First of all, let me zoom in quite a bit, and let's go up and start in the sky area because we're going to use the spot healing brush up in the sky area. So let's start with that. We've already done that. We know that that's the Band-Aid. So let's go to the Band-Aid. And when I come over here, I can start getting rid of that line and just keep clicking around. Sometimes the line doesn't appear, but you can get rid of most of it if you just keep working at it. There's a line. I'm getting rid of that. And you can see what the spot healing brush does. It does a very good job finding what's around it and doing that. Okay. There it goes. It gets rid of that. I'm not going to do all the lines because you get the idea of the spot healing brush. The second tool we've used already is the clone stamp. So let me click on the clone stamp. I'm going to use the clone stamp here on the roof because I think that's a good place for it. What you remember from that is we want to set the anchor point. Now this line right here kind of goes down the middle of a row of shingles. So when I set my anchor point, I want to come up and do about the same thing with the same place with just about the middle of it. So I hit Alt, set my anchor point, and now I'm going to come down and I'm just going to paint down that line, and you can see how that disappears, and it's just cloning the roof from up above, and it gets rid of that. And you can see that the shingles are looking good without the power line. Let me reset the anchor point and down here and come up here, and let's remove this line, and you can see that that's going away, and we're getting rid of that. When I get over into the valley over here, let me zoom in and let me do a little bit of the valley. I'll zoom in even more. Let me zoom in right here on this part. You can see that the valley is black. So if I want to come through this area, I'd simply set my anchor point in the valley up here. Oh, I'm still on zoom, sorry. Let me go to clone stamp. I'm going to set my anchor point with a little smaller brush in the valley. Alt, hold. And now I come down and I'm just going to paint over that in that area. Let's go back up and do one of the lines that I already did that got rid of. You can see anchor point in the valley and then come down and get rid of that line there. If I come one out, I'm still following that same pattern with the clone stamp and getting rid of that. So let's look at it at regular size, and you can see that that clone stamp has removed those lines pretty much all the way across. Done a really good job of that. So those are the two tools we've used already. The third tool I want to show you is at the same spot as the spot healing brush. You come up over and right click on it. You're going to get what's called the patch tool. So there's the patch tool. You can see that it comes up with a patch. What you can do with the patch tool, I'll start off in an area of the sky, is you can just draw a line around the area that you want to take, and it's called a content aware patch, and that it's going to find, if you see up here it says content aware, it's going to find that area. Now that I've highlighted it and pulled it down, it's going to replace it with anywhere you move that picture. So there was a lot of white in that area, so I'm going to put it where the clouds are, let go, and if I hit select, deselect, I have to deselect that area, you can see that that line is gone now. Again, I'll do it again. I'm going to draw around the area that I want to replace. I want to take that patch and I want to move it up to an area that kind of matches, and I hit that, select, deselect, and that area is gone. Alright, so that line is completely gone. So we've got the spot healing brush, the clone stamp you've already used, now the content aware patch or the patch tool. Let's zoom in a lot and come in on the house. I want to replace an area of this line across the house. So how can I do that? Let's just take it from this area right here. This time though, I want to try the marquee tool. If you right click on the second one down, you can see it says rectangular marquee tool. I want to be on that. Now this time it's going to give me a perfect rectangle. So I can see that I want to come down about 7 pixels, it says 9 pixels high. And I'm going to take it over to the edge of the window over here. So now I've got this. I'm going to come back to my patch tool, select that, and now I'm going to move my patch straight down and use the window that's underneath it to line up with the window. So there I've taken that, I select, deselect, and you can see that that line is gone from the area of the window. It's also good if you kind of go in the middle of an area, like here. I would start, rather than going right on the edge, it might be better to start in the middle. So if I'm not quite right, this one I'm just going to freehand draw, I can still play with it a little bit. Now you notice the lines on the house. There's a line, there's a line. So this is obviously covering the line of a house. So when I use this patch tool, I want to make sure that that line of the house is going to end up in about the same spot. I can move it down to any line I want. That one looks pretty good. I let go, and if I need to come over either way, it looks like that might line up a little better if I move it now. That's going to be the best line of the house. Let go. Didn't do as good of a job on that one. So that's going to happen sometimes. You just have to keep working with it to find the right area. I do find that it works better, usually, select, deselect, I'm sorry. It works better when you're using the freehand of just the patch tool. This gives you a straighter line, but it doesn't always work quite as well. So let's come back and let's just freehand this one and bring it down here. And let's take it now and let's take that freehand down and replace that line and let it go. And still didn't work great, but it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you just have to get what you can and then you finish up with it. It's easier though too if you do use as big an area as you can. The more area you get, the easier it's going to get rid of it. Let's try this area. Let's bring it around here and come around here and make it. Now let's move this patch tool. Let's take it down to another line. Get that line up on the house. Let go of it and select, deselect, and sure enough, we're rid of it. Always coming back, finish off. Remember, we can come back to the clone stamp to finish it off. We can go as small as we want to with that brush. And I want to set my anchor point somewhere here in the middle, about straight down. Alt, set my anchor point, and I come up, and I'm just painting over that line that's left with what's below down there, and you can see I'm finishing it off. That straight line up gets rid of that. Let's go on that straight line up. Kind of takes it up. Getting rid of the line as we go, returning that to white, and you can see that we're getting rid of that. Now we're in the window. Again, I might want to set my anchor just a little bit lower so I can work all the way through. Oh, I didn't set my anchor correctly. That's Alt. There we go. Working up into it, and you can see that I'm getting rid of those marks of the window. Let's zoom out. And you can tell that I've started to get rid of those lines. I'm getting rid of the sky lines. I'm getting rid of the roof lines. Over here in the tree, you've got those lines too. You can take your choice. I don't think the spot healing brush is going to work real well in the trees just because it kind of smudges them up a little bit. But you can work on with whatever you want. Let's try the content aware patch over there in those trees. I think that'll give us a good look. Call it the patch tool. I keep saying content aware because you can see I've got the patch set at content aware. So let me draw a line around this, just in the tree area. And this one I want to bring down because I have some blue sky there. I want to keep that blue sky. And I just bring it down and it'll replace it. A little fuzzy on that one, but when you zoom out, you're probably not going to be able to tell that at all. Select, deselect to get rid of the line. And you can see that patch is pretty much gone. Again, you could also have used the clone stamp in there and just copied that. Whatever tools you like, whatever tools you're comfortable with. So we have the spot healing brush, we have the patch tool, and we have the clone stamp. It'll take some time. It's not a quick thing, but if you work at it well, you'll come out with a really good picture and be on the way to what I'm on the way to right here with getting everything done. All right. Good luck, everybody.